Hello students. So in yesterday's class we saw that what is a version control, why we use that. So versioning in the is one of the functionality provided in the Amazon S3 bucket. So by using the versioning we can restore, or you can, if the accidental delete, so you can restore the copies of the version, or you can create the multiple copies of the version. The one more thing is, now suppose if you are creating the multiple copies of the version, then the user has to pay for how many copies or how many multiple times the version he is going to save in the Amazon S3 bucket. Now today we'll see the demo of how we can create the Amazon S3 version control demo.
Welcome to the demonstration for S3 version control. Let's start by navigating to the S3 dashboard. And here are the list of buckets in the account. So we're going to create a new bucket. We're just going to call it, and remember this name has to be unique globally, and we're not allowed to use dashes at the end of a bucket names. We're going to click next. And we're going to enable versioning for this bucket. And this turns the versioning on for the bucket. And what this means is that it will keep multiple versions of our files in this bucket. So let's click on Create Bucket. And there's our bucket. So let's go into the bucket and upload some files. So on the top here you see versions. By default it's set to hide, but you can click on show as well, and you'll see why in a moment. So we're going to upload a file. And there we are. We can see the file is in the bucket. Now this is the default view. So we click on show instead. We see a slightly different view. So we see the name of the file, and then we see the version ID. And we can see that this file is the latest version of the ID. Now if we try and upload the file again, so let's upload the same file. Click upload. And now we see two versions of the file. The previous version has now moved down and has lost the latest version tag, and the new version ID is now the latest version. Whereas if we click hide, you're oblivious to this. Now the cool thing about this is that you can recover to previous versions of the file. So if we wanted to make the previous version the latest version, we could do so by deleting the latest version. And this shows how you can set up versioning on a bucket. Amazon.
Hello students. So today we will discuss the topic about the elastic file system. So Amazon EFS enables you to create, set up the file storage to quickly access the files and release. Now suppose if we have the Amazon S3. So S3 is also used for the storing the documents. So here suppose if you have a files, and if you want to have a elastic file system or file storage, so in that case we can go for the EFS. The system is said to be elastic. Why it is said to be elastic? Because we can create the file into the storage, or we can delete the file from the storage. It is a cloud-based file storage service for the application and workload that run on the AWS public cloud. So whatever the applications which run on the public cloud, so all are nothing but they are using the Amazon EFS. It is a scalable file storage for the use with the Amazon EC2. You can create the file system, configure your instances, mount the file system. You can also use the EFS file system as a common data source for the workload and applications running on the multiple instances. Now here there is one condition, or you can say there is one drawback. The EFS does not support on the Windows instances. Now whenever you are creating the instances on the EC2 and if you are using the EFS file system, so in that case what will happen? Your file system should be created only on the Unix platform or the Linux instances. Windows instances are not supported on the Amazon EFS. So that is one take care, we need to take care. Now, what are the benefits of using the EFS? EFS file system is a simple and scalable. It is designed to use with the Amazon EC2 instances. So that is what I told you just now. It is not going to support the Windows instances. It is a shareable across the EC2 instances. Storage capacity is automatically scaled up or scaled down whenever the files are added or removed. If you remove the files, then the storage capacity will be decreased. So what is the use of doing that? The cost is going to be reduced. You have to pay only for the storage what you are using, and you can store the files, EFS files, across the multiple availability zone within the region. Suppose if you have the one region and for the one region you have the two availability zones, then in that case what we can do? We can store the file system on multiple availability zone. So Amazon VPC security group and network access control list allow you to control the network's access to your EFS resource. Now if you want to provide the security for the EFS file system, so in that case we can go for using the VPC security groups. So what is VPC? VPC is the virtual private cloud which provides the security and the network access to the EFS resources. The cost is based upon the average monthly usage for the storage space used. Usually it is $0.030 per GB month. So it is a twice of for the standard EBS volume. Now it is having the reduced cost. You have to pay only for what you use. You can provide the security. So this is about the EFS. So whenever you want to create the EFS file system for the EC2 instances, so first what we have to do is we have to use the Amazon EFS service. It will enable to create the file system that multiple instances can mount and access at the same time. So mount file system, you have to decide the mount target in which availability zone you want to set up your file system. So all the EC2 instances in a VPC within the given availability zone share the single mount target for the given file system. Now suppose if I have the 5 or 10 instances, then all the 10 instances will share the one file system which is stored into that particular availability zone. Once we mount the file system, the next thing is whether we have to test the file system to check whether it is connected properly and it is working properly. Then after that, once your work is done, then we need to clean up. When you are finished, you can terminate the instances and delete the file system. So this is how the file system is created. Now let us see the video on how the
Lots of applications require shared file storage that can be accessed by multiple computers at the same time. But building your own file storage system takes time and can be very expensive. And once your file storage system is deployed and operational, you have to do complex maintenance and backup operations to make sure it's performing well and your data is secure. What if there was a better way? Amazon Elastic File System, or Amazon EFS, is a shared file system for use with Amazon EC2. With Amazon EFS, applications running on multiple EC2 instances can access your file system at the same time. And the service uses the industry-standard NFS version 4 file access protocol, so the applications and tools that you use today work seamlessly. It's easy to create an Amazon EFS file system with a few clicks in the AWS Management Console, or by using the AWS SDK or AWS Command Line interface. Once your file system is created, EC2 instances in your Amazon VPC can mount your file system and begin storing data in EFS. Amazon EFS manages all the infrastructure for you and automatically scales your file system storage capacity up or down as you add or remove files, ensuring you always have the storage you need while reducing time-consuming administration tasks. And with Amazon EFS, you only pay for the space your files and directories use. There is no minimum fee and no setup cost. Making sure your data is available and secure is really important. Amazon EFS is designed to be durable and highly available and automatically replicates your data across multiple availability zones in a region. Amazon EFS gives you the flexibility to control who can access your file systems and their content. Amazon VPC security groups and network access control lists allow you to manage network access to your Amazon EFS file systems. At the file and directory level, Amazon EFS supports user and group read, write, and execute permissions. And Amazon EFS is integrated with AWS Identity and Access Management to control access to Amazon EFS's administrative API. Amazon EFS lets you run applications that use shared file storage in the cloud and automates time-consuming storage administration tasks, freeing you to focus on your application and business. Getting started with Amazon EFS is simple. To learn more about Amazon Elastic File System, visit our website, and you can create your first file system in a few clicks.